like an actual death trap.
You can put things in there, shredded newspaper, whatever you want.
Some
It was like
chicken wine or something like that.
It's like a piñata, but bits of me come out after it gets smashed.
Yeah, you know, I like the way you're thinking. Candy is what you should be putting in there.
Yeah,
it could be a glorious day when you meet your end.
I've never crashed a car. I've never even had a fender bender or anything.
Really?
A deer hit me one time. I did not hit it.
We parked.
I wonder what his side of the story is.
His eye was hanging out. Fuck him though. He fucked up my.
He hit you in the side.
He hit me in the side. I was going like 35, and he crashed. I had a Acura TL. I don't remember what trim levels, the sporty one, and he fucking ran right into the.
Ludicrous.
It happened to my friend this summer.
Yeah. Fuck deer. Fuck deer.
Yeah.
Deer suck.
What's
They're
the,
just
so?
rats.
So here's how my friend this summer went down. I was following him and I saw it. The deer ran into the side, hit the car. The deer made it like, I'm gonna call it 50 yards and stopped there. But it was alive, but it wasn't doing well. So he said, "Woody, you have a gun in the car?" I probably didn't have one, but he got that. And then he was gonna shoot it, and then the other people were like, "No, you're not supposed to kill the deer. The police want to like see it
Read it. Miranda rights.
I'm reading like I'm using molested wrong, but you know they want to see the deer unmolested. In it, like they don't want him altering the evidence of how it went down. And I'm like, it was like heavy.
Like
breathing.
what is he talking about? I mean, what's the deer going to tell them?
The deer is telling me not only was he hit by the car, he was also molested.
So he didn't.
Well, there's deer antlers back here in our set that a fan sent me after I told a story of hitting a deer in my first Lamborghini. I'd had it for like 6 months, and I was going to a wedding where we had it. I don't know if it was rented out for like a getaway car or something. And we were driving along this, about this time of year, which I guess is when deer become interested in procreating. And it gallops up next to me, and I'm slowing down, and then it trips over itself and falls in front of the car. And I'm like 7 miles an hour, pop the thing, and it slides 50 yards and shakes it off, and then gallops off to, make more stupid deer.
Yeah.
As I was editing that video,
my
You can
deer
tell you're an
survived.
avid outdoorsman, Ed.
You can
Yeah.
tell the
My
deer's
deer,
stupid because it
well,
already
in the-
ran into him.
My deer
Yeah.
in the
survived the
video,
crash.
I said it had big horns, which I was informed is not what deers have. They have
Yeah.
antlers.
It's true.
It's the difference. And as I was editing this video, there were literally 4 or 5 deer that came to my window at my house and were looking in at me. Like, they're like,
They're
we're going to
plotting.
jump in front of the beauty now.
Yeah.
So
Billy,
they
tell
stayed
us what
away.
you did.
They were all over the place.
We had a dead deer in my front yard. So like,
Yeah.
So your dogs ate it.
I'm not a deer person. The electric fence doesn't let them go there. But I'm not a deer person.
Was it unmolested?
Well, at first it was.
It was.
So
Initially?
anyway, there's a deer in my front yard. My wife is bringing me over like this is some sort of emergency. Well, honey, it's fine. So I decide to let nature take care of it. That was plan A. And it worked for a little while. For like the first 2 or 3 days, we have dozens of vultures just feasting on it nonstop. They wore out a circle of grass around this deer. And I wasn't getting too close to it because it was stinky. We mowed around it. And I didn't realize the vultures left. They stopped. But it was covered with insects. So I'm like, hey, don't give up on nature yet. And then even then, like it wasn't making progress. I didn't see it. So I take the tractor and I pick it up by these big antlers. And all my friends are like, dude, are you gonna like mount it? Are you gonna do anything? I'm like, no, it's disgusting. It smells horrible. Its skin is now when I picked it up by the antlers, most of the deer's gone. It stayed together. It didn't go bad, but its eyes were gone, and its skin was just wrapped around bone with no guts in it. The guts have been eaten out by, I guess, the vultures, or maybe they just leaked or something. And I carried it over to an unused part of the yard.
So what are we having for dinner tonight?
The vultures got it. I wish I could do something. But yeah, now it exists over there rotting away. Colin wanted to see it. I took him a few weeks later. Roughly the same.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Not
We
much
had
change.
we had a cow die one time, and it died in a part of the property where we didn't go very often, and we didn't notice that it was dead until usually when one dies, you take the backhoe and dig a hole and get rid of it.
Right where it lays.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
like,
You just dig your hole right next to it, bump it with the arm, throw him in the hole, and he's gone. But this cow had gotten in a very bad way. She was like bloated and blown apart, and like the vultures couldn't find her, I guess, where she was because there was an overhang. She died right on the fence line, a lot of trees overhanging there, and apparently they didn't find her.
Okay.
And she's just full of maggots. It's disgusting, gallons of maggots. And I'm like, Scott, look at this, my cousin. What are we gonna do? And he's like, what do you mean? What are we? I was like, we got to do something.
Well, the maggots eat the rotten meat. It's still good.
Yeah.
I was like, let's blow her up. And he's like, hell yeah, let's blow her up. You want to get a pipe bomb or some ammonium nitrate? And I'm like, I think ammonium nitrate for this. We're gonna need a big boom. So we put about 15 fucking pounds of Tannerite and wrapped it up nice and tight in a I won't go. YouTube has this whole bomb making description thing, but let's just say I made some Tannerite and I shoved the package into her guts and then pushed it a little bit deeper into her.
It was molested.
Pushed the package nice and deep, way up there, Morty. Got it like into her mass, and then we backed off a little bit and shot her with an SKS, and it smelled so bad there for a month. it scattered rotten, must have been 800, 900 pounds of rotten beef across a blast area. It was the most disgusting smell ever. It was awesome. It was awesome.
It hangs out for a bit. I landed my paramotor just like 2 days ago, and I'm like, look at this. Like this part of the yard's a little different. There's feathers here, and I was like, oh right, I'm standing where the deer was. That's.
And then we grew
I can't believe
up
you grew
one
up on
time.
a cattle farm where you had a backhoe. See, I grew up on a small cattle farm, so when we had a cow die, we had to dig it with a shovel.
Oh,
yeah,
that's
that
a
sounds-
big ditch.
It is a big ditch, especially if they get bloated. It's a bigger ditch.
Yeah.
And if you don't blow them up.
No,
It's-
it was a cattle farm and a poultry farm. So the backhoe was a requirement. Yeah,
I gotcha.
Definitely had to have one.
Okay. What do
We
you use
didn't have that in the
backhoes
trailer
for
park. I
in
don't
poultry?
In the trailer park. No.
Yeah, burying the dead poultry. When they die, thousands and
They
thousands.
die a lot.
Yeah, you start with 120,000. If only 1% dies, you've got hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands, of dead
Incalculable.
chickens. Incalculable.
Dozens.
Dozens of thousands. So there's lots of.
9/11 times
Yeah.
a
We don't drink the groundwater over there. And so, but then one time we were filming and we had these pig carcasses that we bought. We bought them from these Mennonites, and they were real nice people. And they were like, we were buying a whole hog, basically just gutted, like the kind of thing that you would like cook a pig in the ground. It's got the head and everything. And I think we bought 3 of them. We bought at least 2, and they were like, "You guys having a big old cookout?" I think it was Sunday or Saturday or something like that. So they thought we were having like the whole church. I guess they envisioned a whole church picnic and all the parishioners gathered around to have some pork. And I wasn't going to say anything, but Scott was like, "Oh no, we're going to shoot that one with a flamethrower and we're going to blow this one up. But I think we're going to beat it up a little first, like Rocky." And they looked at him like, all that good meat? No, don't do it. He wanted to back out of the sale. He didn't want to sell it to us anymore because of what we're going to do to it.
What?
But yeah.
Well, that's how I
Bitch
feel
fails,
about
man.
donating my grandmother to science.
Yeah. Dude, wouldn't that be so funny if you could donate other people's body to science? It's like, yeah, he says he wanted to be a really nice coffin, but at the very, very, very end, he saw the price and said, "Blow me up." No,
I would like to
in
be
the room.
wrong.
Are you calling me a liar? Yeah.
I don't care what they do with me. Do you?
No, not at all.
Like what if they want to do something like really embarrassing to you though?
They have to pretend I'm still alive.
like
for
a
at least
bodies
3 days.
exhibit.
Oh, like
Worse than that. Much worse than that. What if they want to take your skin and put it on a sex robot?
Oh,
Am I doing the fucking as a robot?
Oh no, you are a bottom bitch sex robot.
I mean, as long as I'm cared for, cleaned, and appreciated.
Oh, there'll be no cleaning.
Oh, I'm just well, I guess it wouldn't be my ass it was in because my skin's on the outside. It's the silicone pocket pussy that's the coming in.
No,
They're
they
gonna
use your
save
ass.
your rectum.
They keep my everything's just skin, but they keep my rectum intact.
Just that.
Just like a
Just
pocket.
that. Just that. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that's
You thought about
I
it.
just don't care. I just don't care what they do to me. You could, although one time I saw that one of those shows on the Discovery Channel where I think what they were doing is they were looking at how bodies decompose in various scenarios and then with that data they could then apply it in the field when they found a body in those scenarios, and they would be more apt to be able to determine how long has this body been in a hot car. You know, is this a day or is this a week? You know, they decompose very differently in those scenarios. And they put a woman's body in a hot car and left it out in the sun for and they go check on it every few days.
Did she
And it
start
was
off hot? It's important.
Was it a nice
I can picture being that researcher going out there like, still gross.
Inspected at 12:30 p.m.
What's your data, doctor? It is absolutely disgusting. I won't lie to you. Day 1 through 3, a little bit fuckable, but 4 on, no thank you. I'd have to have a few in me.
Yeah.
And
Day 48. We're taking the car back to Hertz.
Have you ever?
60. Just pull back into fucking National with your.
What are you talking about? It smelled like this when I got it.
Sir, you said no smoking. I did not smoke in this car. I did not smoke. No, call your manager. Ask. I did not find me a speck of ash in this car.
I bought the insurance. What?
Yeah.
Isn't this covered on Scratch and Ding? Come on.
Nothing bigger than $1.
I bought the insurance. So